Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you a couple of tricks that you can use for your composites. So we've got background, so now let's get a subject. So I'm just going to open a raw file in Camera Raw, and I'm just going something like so, just add some more exposure, lots of clarity, and add more contrast. And what I'm doing is basically I want to make the subject stand out from the background, and as you can see this wasn't taken in the studio, and sometimes you may find that you need to remove someone from a shot you took everywhere else apart from a studio. So the principle applies to even the photos taken in studio. So just add contrast so you can see nice clear edges. So this is good enough, I think. Okay, so the first trick is we've got this, and this may not be the final result that we want on this image, so we might want to come back to Camera Raw. So the best thing to do it is convert to a smart object, and that allows us to come back to Camera Raw. So holding the shift key right here on the bottom where it says open image, holding shift it changes to open object, and I'm going to click, and basically it will open that image in Photoshop, but as a smart object. That's great. And as you can see, I'm going to just change thumbnail to bigger. Oh, actually it's big enough, doesn't go any larger. And there's right here the icon as it's a smart object. So now we have a background, and now we have the model. So the first thing I want to do is actually drag the background to that same document. So I'm just going to drag the document. I got warning because different settings, and I'm going to actually just make it larger, something like so. Let's go something like this, and I'll click OK, and it's just applying the transform. Okay, so I'm going to drag down, and I'm going to select now the top layer, which is the subject. So using just a quick selection tool, and bear in mind you can use any selection tool that you may like, the first thing I'm going to do is focus on the head, and the reason is that there's always some hairs and stuff, and the settings may differ from the hair to the clothes. So what I want to do is basically create a selection that is saved from the head and then go into the body. So this is selected. I'm just going to refine edge, and this is another trick. Normally you see something like this under the refine edge, or overlay, or black, or white, but the best thing to do is doing this sort of work is go on layers, and what that does is actually shows you a preview and how it's looking, and this way you don't need to be as precise doing your selections, because you can see exactly if any issue will come up. So this is a great idea to do it. And smart radius halfway, something like that, and as you can see I got a bit of the hair, which is great, and I'll just click OK. As you can see it only took a few seconds. Now I just want to save the selection. I'll go just to select, save selection, and I'll just call it head. Cool. Now I'm going to deselect, and I'm going now to do the body. So I'll just go once again with quick selection tool, just drag something like so, and just carry on doing it. Normally I would be zooming in much closer, make sure that everything was perfect, but this is just for the purposes of the tutorial, so I'm just going to make it a bit quicker. And just drag this, get this back. Whoops, went too far. If you went too far, just hold Alt or Option on Mac and just drag away from that area. So something like so. And there you go. So I'll just reduce this a bit, and we need to add this as well. Okay, let's say we spent a bit longer doing this and we were very close to the subject. So now, once again, refine edge. We make sure that we are on layers showing so we can see what we're doing. And now I'll just add some radius, not too much, probably smooth and feather a touch, a bit of contrast, and I'll click OK. Obviously there is no secret formula, it will vary the numbers to your image, and as you know, it's not a very accurate selection, but it will get you the idea. So we've got the body, we go select, save selection, and we name it body. Okay, so now we have two selections. So if you go to the channels, and if you don't see the channels, go to window and select channels, and now you have channels, and we have the selections. So all we have to do is hold Control or Command and click on the thumbnail, and now we want to add to the rest of the body, so in this case the head. So holding Control or Command and Shift, and now we have a selection complete. So all we have to do now is just add a layer mask, and there you go. So very cool. But now comes another trick. Sometimes you will come up with issues like this, and we have the edge is not perfect, so you can use a paintbrush, you can do many things, but I'm going to show you a nice trick. Selecting the lasso tool, adding some feather, all I'm going to do is just grab and paint around, something like so. And as you can see, we have a selection, not accurate at all, but it will do the job nicely. So making sure that we are on the layer mask, we go to Image, Adjustments, Levels, and all we have to do is just play with the slider. And as you can see, that is gone. So that's before and that's after. I'll click OK, and I can do in other areas that I may see that I need. So there you go, once again, and Control or Command L to get levels, and you can see what's happening. So it works really well. And there you go. So this is, and as you can see, even though it was a very quick selection, it worked quite well. And here again, so let's grab a bit, something like so. Let's add this bit. So Control L, just make sure that get that sorted, nice. And I would go obviously check all those areas. As you can see, a few nice tricks. And the good thing about having a smart object, you double click the thumbnail, camera opens, and you can change the image as you like. So I'm just going something like this, and probably just a bit more exposure, and obviously I change my white balance to click OK, and it will apply those changes on my Photoshop document. And this is a better way to combine both the background and the subject. And as you can see, a couple of nice tips. I hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward to see some cool work based on these tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.